time to arrange the sliders. But what we can do really quick, because again, I'm not going to cut this meat yet because we want it to sit for a minute. All those juices are going to go back into the meat, because if you cut it right off the grill, which a lot of us are tempted to do, all your juices run out and then you end up with piece of meat. You don't want to do that, because once you let it sit, everything will go back into the protein. That way when you slice it, you get a beautiful juicy bite. Okay, so we have the tomahawks out. They've rested nicely. So now we can start assembling our sliders. Now on the recipe I've done, this is really basic, but again, really delicious, because you're getting all the flavor really is in your meat, with being the ribeye. Basically a tomahawk is a ribeye. So if you take this part off and you look at this part, it's a ribeye steak. A lot of people don't realize, but they leave the rib bone on. And what's also nice is that you can actually, when you take these off, or even beforehand, a lot of times if you get the bone on, you can save the bone part for soups and everything like that. So multi-use, for especially if you get this kind of stuff, because you can save this part. So juicy. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys something. Look at the ribeye steak, because sometimes we don't know till we cut into it. I'm going to cut the bone off real quick. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. Sometimes we don't know till we're going in it, and a lot of people just don't. Now, see when I started these slices, do you see the lines here? Okay, this is called the grain of the meat going down. Now, if you slice it this way all the way through, it's going to be a little chewier, which is fine. It's a beautiful tender piece of meat, but you want to go against the grain, because that's when it's just going to bite perfectly in your mouth if you don't like chewier meat. So since I was slicing this way, we don't want the accordion. We want to go the other way. So we're going to turn it that way. I'm going to cut off the muscle part over here, this little connective tissue over here, and we're going to start slicing this way now. Look how juicy this meat is, guys. Now you can see the difference. Look, see the difference? This is how it's going to be so much easier. This goes with any of your beef that you do. This is the kind of cuts that you want, not this. You get some of the I don't want to say cheaper cuts of meat, but more of like chuck roast and things that are a little more inexpensive. You're definitely going to want to cut like this, because it's going to be really chewy for you if you do it this way. When you have a piece of meat like this, it won't really matter as much, because it's so tender and juicy and delicious. But these are the cuts that we want. This is what we want. Look at that.